Hello! 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 Hello and welcome to Mr. Walkington's World. Oh yeah, I don't have a theme song yet. Moving swiftly on. Hello, welcome back to another tutorial. So today we're going to have a look at a little bit of origami. We're going to see if we can make one of these little corner bookmarks. They are super useful and also super simple to make. So we're going to get crafting. Right then, let's get started on making one of our corner bookmarks like these two here. So I've had a look at making some. So here's a slightly smaller one that I made and a bigger one. We're going to start by making the bigger one, and you can always move down to making this afterwards. As you can see, they just slot nicely on, and if you make two, they sit nicely into each other like that, which is really nice. So this isn't going to be a super long video because it's quite a short and quite a simple craft. So all you're going to need is a piece of paper and a pair of scissors to start with. So what we're going to do is first we need a square, because most of the time when you're doing origami you start with a square. Now the way we do this is we start by taking one corner and folding it across into a triangle. Now you need to line up this edge perfectly so that it's going to be straight, because that'll make you a perfect square. And then you're going to flatten it out like this. Like I say, this is probably the trickiest part, so if you do need some help, you could always go and ask your parents, or if you've got an older brother or sister, but definitely have a go first. So you should end up with something like that. And what we need to do is we need to cut off this piece here. Now again, there's a couple of different ways you can do this. You can just take your scissors straight away and cut across that line, but what I like to do is take a ruler and draw a line right along there so that I can see where I'm cutting. So I'm going to do that. Draw a line across there, and now when I unfold it I can see where I want to cut, and I'm going to cut across there. Again, when we're cutting, we don't want to be using the ends of the scissors, we want to be using the middle, because that is the sharpest part and it's going to give you the neatest line. And now we have our square. Don't get rid of this piece because you're going to use it later. You can actually make a smaller square out of that as well, so we're going to put that to one side. So you've got your square, or hopefully you've got your square, and what you're going to start by doing is you're going to keep that fold that we made to make the triangle. So you started with a square piece of paper already, you do need to fold it diagonally into a nice triangle, like so. Make sure that this fold here is really neatly pressed down and flat. Yeah, you don't want this to be wobbly. Both pieces of paper should be right next to each other. Your next step is to take this corner here, or this corner, it doesn't matter, and you're going to fold it onto this corner here, making another triangle shape. So you're going to take it, line up the top like that so that the corners are meeting, hold it down with one finger, yeah, and then you're going to flatten this out with your other hand. You have to push down on this finger really hard because you don't want it to move. So you're going to push down here and just flatten that off as hard as you can, because you want it to be nice and flat. And you're going to do the same with the other side again. So you're going to line it up with the corner. It's a bit tricky because I'm using a bit thicker paper. You're going to hold it down with your finger and then flatten it off exactly the same, and you should have another square. Once you've done that, all you're going to do is unfold it, and now you've got these nice lines here which you're going to need. Your next step is to take what the front part here, so not the back part, just the front part, you're going to fold it down to here where we have our nice little point from our two folds. So this piece here is going to be folded to there, so you're going to take it, pull it up here, line it up so that it's right in the corner, hold it down with your finger, push down really hard on this finger, and then you're going to flatten that piece there. You're going to flatten off your fold. Yeah? So from there to there, flatten it off. And you should have something looking like this. So, next step is you're going to take this side here and you're going to fold it back where it was. And then this is, again, a slightly tricky part. So you're going to take your hand and you're going to put it inside so that you've got a nice little gap there. And then this bit, you're going to fold underneath like that. And then you're going to put it down and flatten it. Yeah, so let's do that piece again. Doesn't matter that that's happened. So you're taking this, you're folding it back over, you're sliding your hand into it like that, and hold on to that, pinch the two pieces together, and then you're going to fold that piece behind, and flatten it off, and then you've guessed it, we're going to do exactly the same with this side. We're going to fold this side over, we're going to put our hand in like this, we're going to fold this side in exactly the same as the other side, and we're going to completely flatten off all of our folds. And there we have our basic bookmark. You get your book and it slides nicely on there. Right, let's have a look at decorating our corner bookmark. Now there are endless ways you could decorate this bookmark, and I couldn't possibly show you all of them, as the video would just keep on going forever. So all I'm going to do is give you a couple of ideas, and you're going to have to run with it and be super creative, and hopefully you can show me the results. So you don't have to put eyes on it like I have, you don't have to do it like a monster or an animal, but the first one we're going to look at doing is I'm going to have a look at doing something a little bit like this so you can see how I have done it. Obviously the eyes, super easy. All I did was I just chose where I wanted my eyes to be, and I just took my pencil and drew them on. Nice and simple. Tried to make them the same size, but with it being a monster, it doesn't really matter if they're different sizes, it might just look a little bit quirkier. So I drew my eyes on and put a bit in the middle. I also put eyelids on the top. Then I did some eyebrows. Now my eyebrows are just little jaggedy lines to look a little bit furry. And then down both sides I've added almost like triangle shapes to look like fur on the end of his face, on the edge of his face I should say. Same on the other side. Now I'm just doing this really quickly so you can see how I did it, because I want to show you a couple of different ways of doing it. And that was my first step, so that is all of this part done. And on a bigger one like this, I would go over it with my black felt tip, I think, so that we can see it better. Again, I'm doing this really quickly. I would definitely suggest you take your time. You can always pause the video if you need to have a better look at something I've done. Just doing that bit. So, and there we have it. So, that is our basic face on the top. Now let's have a look at how I've done a mouth and a tongue. So I've done some sharp teeth. Now I'm going to do this with some white paper, I think, instead of blue paper, but if you use blue paper it's fine. Now the way I did it was I took this piece and I slid it inside like that, because I'm going to need a piece to glue to this. So I slid it inside like that until it got stuck, which is what I'm looking for. and then I flattened it down. I then got my pencil and I just drew a line right across there so that I know where my mouth needs to start. And I also drew one in the middle so that I could see where I want to put my tongue. Now you've got two options. Now you can either bring this out and draw on it and put it back in again, or you can draw on it whilst it's in there. That way you know where everything is and what it's going to look like. Don't glue it down yet because it makes it really difficult to draw on. So now I'm going to draw I'm going to start with my tongue. So I'm going to give him a bit of a longer tongue this time. So I'm going to start here and I'm going to make it a little bit curly. Now you can do absolutely anything you want with this bookmark. It's super what we call versatile, which means you can do so much with it. And like I say, it doesn't need to be a monster. I'm going to draw a line down the middle of his tongue like that. Excuse me. And then I'm going to put some teeth on it again because I like having teeth on it. And these are going to be some big teeth, so these are just going to be triangles coming out. I'm going to try and make it fairly symmetrical. So I want both sides to be about the same. Again, I'm just doing this quickly so that you can see how I've done it. Perfect. And then I'm going to take this piece out, now that I've drawn it, and you'll have something looking like this. And now your next step is to go over, or colour in, your teeth and tongue. I'm going to really carefully go over it with this pen. Again, you don't have to do teeth like this, you could just do a tongue. Go. Let's get the line down the middle of the tongue as well, and then quickly colour in my tongue pink. Should have done the black for the black second really, because then my pink is less likely to get messed up by the black, which unfortunately always seems to happen. Starting to go a little bit black now, but I'm not going to worry about it. There we go, and I'm just going to keep the teeth white. I like the teeth white. Yeah. So now all you need to do is take your scissors and cut this out in the mouth. So we've got our tongue and teeth, and then we're going to take this and let's have a look if it fits. Awesome. I think it's looking really good. So we're going to glue this down now. Super easy. Glue stick. Glue on here. Slide it in to where you would like it. I think that's probably about the middle for me. And then push this bit down. Make sure you flatten all of this part here so that your mouth gets nicely stuck on there, like so. That's already looking really good. So you still need to probably go in with your rubber and get rid of those pencil lines because you don't really want those. And this is where, if I had any googly eyes, I don't have any googly eyes, I would definitely be using googly eyes. So I think this is awesome, googly eyes. And there we have a different version of this this other one that I've made out of wet paper. We're going to have a look at what else you can do in terms of decorating your corner bookmark. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to flip it over and we're going to use the other side of this. And what we're going to do is we're going to have a go at making a flower So this is going to be a flower. We're going to use this side because flowers are not, unfortunately, triangle shapes. This side's going to work a lot better. What we're going to do is you're going to need something circle to draw around, so I'm going to use my glue stick lid because I'm going to use this to make a nice circle for the middle of my flower. So I'm going to put it over the corner here. I don't want all of the circle, I only want a little bit of the circle, and I'm going to draw around it. If you don't have anything circle, you can just freehand it, so you can just draw a nice little half circle. Semicircle would be a better word for it, although it's not perfect, it is semicircle. So we're going to draw that, and that's where we're going to start our flower. Now we're going to draw some leaves coming out this way. We're going to do quite a basic flower, and I'm going to start by drawing a triangle this way. So I'm going to draw a line out here, and then a line like this across there. And the triangle's actually starting in the middle of my circle. I should have said that. And I'm going to join it up. So that's going to be the shape of my first petal, and then I'm going to actually turn it into a petal. So to do that, again, a lot of my videos we talk about this, you're going to curve these sharp corners. You don't want sharp corners, so we're going to follow it, and we're going to curve it. So we're going to curve our sharp corner, and we're going to make this a bit more of a curve as well. Do the same to both sides. Curving that corner as well. And then here, we're just gonna, in the middle of this part here, we're just gonna dip down. So we're gonna go down and back up again, like that. And that's gonna be our first leaf. We're going with our rubber and get rid of the lines we don't like, or don't need. It's not that I don't like them, we just don't need them. And that's going to be our first petal. And then we're going to do another one here, and I might just fast forward this bit so you can watch me do it. Okay, so I've finished outlining what my flower is going to look like, and I'm going to quickly go over it with my felt tip so that I can colour it in. And once you've done that, you're going to want to, again, go in with your rubber and rub out all the pencil lines before you do any colouring in. If you felt tipped over it, wait till your felt tip is dry, otherwise you'll smudge all of your lines. You don't have to go over it with felt tip. I really am doing it because it means you can see it a little bit easier on the video. I've got a very wobbly table, and that's all mine is done. Oh, missed those bits. And now we've got our outline of our flower. A couple more steps left to do. I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut this piece here because I think it's going to look nicer. So I'm going to follow the edges of my flower. Like that. Awesome. And now I'm going to quickly colour it and I'll show you the results. And there we have our second way of decorating our corner bookmark. I've also popped my name on the back so that I know that it's mine. And it also means if you decorate the other side that you get to decorate twice for one piece of origami, which is really cool. Right, so that's our two bookmarks. finished. 3 if you include the one that I had already done. So you've got there 2 different ways of decorating your corner bookmark for you to have a go at. And of course, I would expect you to be super creative with it and have a look at some different ways you could decorate them, different things you could do. You don't have to do a flower or a monster. You could definitely do some awesome mini beasts. And if you've got some googly eyes, I would definitely suggest using those. I'm going to have to get hold of some because I think it will make mine look even better. As always, I'd love to see what you come up with. I'd like to see your designs, your ideas, because I'm sure you've got better ideas than me. And if I see a few that are really good, maybe I'll do a follow-up video of me showing others how they could do the same. So if you've got any ideas for any tutorials you'd like me to do feel free, as always, to ask your parents to email me or message me with those ideas, and I'll see if I can get round to doing them, which I'm sure I can. So until next time, keep on crafting.